Hey everybody, what is cracking? So somebody left a comment to me about a topic that I thought would be great to make a full video on. So basically that topic is which characters are suited to which playstyle. So the beauty of Tekken is you can play any character you like any way you want. That's what makes it so diverse and versatile. So for example, like you could play King, who is a grappler, as a poke character, or you could play Lei as a poke character even though he's a mix-up heavy character. But in that being said, if you're just starting out and you're trying to find your main and you want to play a certain way, there are characters that were built to play a certain style of gameplay. So I'm here to explain a bit about that, and if you guys are trying to find a new main based on how you want to play, obviously these certain playstyles, there's certain characters that fall under those branches, and yeah, hopefully this helps you decide and also work out what kind of playstyle and game style characters will have when you come across them. So as I said, things are pretty complex in Tekken, so obviously these characters can mesh into both, but these are the playstyles I want to talk about. So, Pokey. The first one is Pokey. So usually a Pokey playstyle has lots of single hit moves that are great to chip the opponent down. Mainly involves playing honest, which is a term that means the character mainly doesn't have anything that can be exploited. Like basically they have to earn the win by pokes. Of course they have launches, but most of the work will be done by grinding out pokes through the round. And they're usually patient, this kind of playstyle. You have to be patient and low risk, low reward type play. So obviously you'll do like a down forward one. If it hits, you get like a bit of damage. If it misses, like if they block it, then you basically just get blocked and it's reset to 0. So the opposite of this would be like a hell sweep. That's high risk, high reward, because the hell sweep, if you knock them over, that's where the vortex starts. But if it gets blocked, you get launch punished. So basically, if this kind of playstyle resonates with you, I'll leave the full character list and what sort of playstyle they fit into in the description, but for now I'll just mention a few. So the top characters that I think exhibit this kind of playstyle would be Dragunov, Jack 7, Kazumi, Shaheen, Alisa, and maybe even Steve to that extent. So the next playstyle I want to talk about is the Rushdown or aggressive playstyle. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, if you're this kind of player, it means you like to use a character that can steamroll offensively. So they're all about getting their offense started. As soon as you see one opening, you could end the whole round with 50-50 mix-ups. So they have plenty of mix-up tools for 50-50s, strings end in 50-50s, stuff like that. And basically have lots of moves that entail knocking the opponent down or putting them in a very hard state to escape from. Basically what it means is if you get someone with one of these moves with any of these characters, basically they have to guess as soon as they get up or they're dead. So characters in this category that I would say best illustrate that would be Akuma, Eliza, Geese. I mean, it might be a bit controversial, but I think that Marduk as well, because once he knocks you down once with his hell sweep sort of thing, then you know you got to guess between that tackle and you know the while standing 3 as well. And I honestly think Paul. So if you like to make your opponent guess and be on the offensive as you start out, these characters are pretty offensive based in my opinion. So the next playstyle I want to talk about is a very intricate one, and it is the tricky / evasive playstyle. Basically what this entails is they typically have plenty of stance options and transitions and or moves that evade highs and lows and sometimes even mids. So basically this is the category of characters that basically breaks people's minds because it doesn't fit in with the norm. So usually if you have a down forward one, that's a mid. You're not supposed to be able to evade that at all. Obviously you can sidestep, but usually a down forward one hits the opponent, whether it hits them or it's on block. or they obviously sidestep. But these kinds of characters can evade. You know, they have backsteps, evasive like ducks, all these kinds of things that helps them escape from normal situations that usually you can use on other characters. So these characters also have lots of room for theory crafting as well, or mixing up the opponent. And this is interesting to me because the more you know about the character as the opponent, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. So for an example, if an opponent knows there's a second hit of a string coming that's punishable, you can use that to your advantage. So basically they're just going to wait and then want to punish it, correct? So if you do the first hit, but then you stop it early and go into stance, then the mix-ups are extended and can literally go on into infinite scenarios. So the characters I would say best represent this playstyle would probably be obviously Xiao, Zafina, Eddy, and Lei. Lei is basically the perfect embodiment of this because he has everything that I talked about. He has things that let him evade, but he also has the tricky aspect because he actually has, you know, up to 11 stances, and there is ways to transition into that from each one. So basically, the amount of theory crafting you can do in your head is limited to your own imagination. So if you like to mix up opponents and have lots of options that help you evade and are tricky, these characters are for you. So the third playstyle that I want to talk about is, I just call it the basic playstyle. So what this means is that you want to be able to, you know, do anything that you want. So launches, pokes, punishment, all that kind of stuff with minimal execution. So basically it means these characters have very easy inputs for huge damage, so you don't have to worry about execution, as I said. Straightforward game plan, not having to worry about tight inputs in a match, just on your own ideas. So basically all these characters, if you're in a tight situation and there's a lot of pressure, if you have to launch somebody, some characters have very hard execution levels for launching an opponent, and if you stuffed it up you could literally waste half a life, and you could have killed the opponent with that, but instead you literally get a dick jab instead. So these characters, yeah, if you're looking for basic and very easy to use, probably the best pool for if you're just starting out in Tekken, I would use these guys. So a few people that come to mind are Katarina, Josie, Leroy, Miguel, and Noctis and Negan. So all these guys, in my opinion, they have very easy inputs, very straightforward game plan, nothing too stancy, just basically whatever you think of you can do it because it's not very hard to execute. So the final group of characters that I want to talk about would be under the umbrella of stylish / execution heavy. So these characters basically are for the seasoned players, I would say. These characters take a lot of time to master, and basically you've got to put in a lot of hours in the lab and in games to get them to their highest ability. They usually have very strict timing for certain moves and combos, and as I said, yeah, more for advanced players. They usually have flashy or style-on moves that reward you if you input the moves correctly, and they usually have really big damage, so they'll have bigger damage than anyone else in the cast, which balances out, as I just said, because to execute you must be on point. So characters that fit into this group would be Brian. So he's got moves that, basically his combos you can increase the damage by 10 if you're that good. So just for example, he's got combo extenders, and then he's got taunt as well. So if you're really good, you basically got an unblockable at the wall. All the Mishimas as well, so Devil Jin, Heihachi, Jin and Kazuya. These guys, if you're not on point, you can't electric punish somebody. So an electric punish obviously is going to net you the most damage, but if you don't have the execution for it, you're not even going to launch them. So, and then finally, Lee as well. So Lee basically is the epitome of what I'm talking about here. So his punishes, he has a 10 frame punish that is more damage than anyone else in the game. but you need to do 3 just frames just to do it. So he's 1 3 3 3. That on top of his combos involve his back 2 cancelling, which takes a bit of time as well, and just his overall combos. Basically, you have to have some modicum of execution to perform the highest damage ones. So if you guys are into characters that really make you shine and show the hard work and sweat and tears that have gone into getting your execution to that level, and it can be displayed and showcased in front of everybody, then these characters are definitely for you, because the reward is definitely worth it, seeing as you can do 3/4 of an opponent's life bar in one combo with these guys. So yeah, so basically that's the loose prototypes of the characters that I see in this game anyway. It's just an opinion. Yeah, if you guys are interested in playing a certain character and you don't know kind of the basic outline of their fighting style and the way they play, yeah, hope you found this resourceful, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Take it easy for now, guys. Peace.